When it comes to building a dream, one thing that's essential is clarity. So in this episode, we're laying it all out in 2 simple lists. One for now and one for later, both having items to check off that you might not expect because we certainly didn't.
The things you don't know if you don't know.
We're Brittany and Drew, 2 hopeful adventurers building our dream as we turn this old watermill into our very first home, not on wheels. Now, let's take in a deep breath and let it out. Let the adventure begin.
And now for the list of what's left to do. Now
and later. Not like the candies.
What we need to do now.
Like right now?
Like right now.
Right
No. But just these are the things we need to prioritize because there is a huge list. But when it comes to getting the habitation license, which is what will allow the deed to be put in our name and the funds to be released to the former owners of the mill, because if you guys saw our early episodes where we first purchased the watermill, then you might recall that there was a complicated situation.
Basically, the whole project is grandfathered and we couldn't change anything but make the changes that were required to complete it and get the habitation license, and therefore our name will then be on the title once we have the habitation license. So we're trying to fast track everything, make that priority number and get things done quickly and speedily.
And if you're wondering, but Drew, Brittany, the windows, those have not been quick and speedy. We know, but what's really important to also know here is that we have decided to take our time on some core projects because they're not easy to go back and do differently later.
Because they're locked in from the plaster on the interior as well as the plaster on the exterior.
Coming soon.
It would just take a lot of demolition to change them later on. And we really wanted to keep the heritage and preservation of these wooden windows because they are so stinking nice.
And they were made by the former owners, so as a way to honor them, and they were here last week, and to be able to share the space with them, show how much progress has been made, and see like the delight in their eyes was so confirming to all the work that's been done so far. So first up on the list, we have finished windows, doors, and shutters, which means the handles, and also the shutter dogs, which we just learned about. And basically in our next episode, we'll be able to check off box number 1.
We're so close right now, guys, so close. Next up, oil and clean the theater, and that's the bamboo and the old chestnut beams that sits way up high in that room. There's still remnants of concrete from the inside plaster that needs to be wiped. The whole ceiling needs to be sealed.
Next, we need to have our electricians back to finish off the lighting.
Yeah, that's the components downstairs. There's switches that aren't working and some more things that need to be installed along with the exterior lighting, but that's in conjunction with the guys doing the plastering, which we'll talk about soon.
Also, painting all the ceilings. Everywhere that's not the theater room that has the drywall ceilings.
The drop ceilings, that's just been primed with 2 layers of paint so far, so it needs a final coat because of all the holes that were created for the lighting.
Then there's build the platform for the air conditioning and heater / heat pump, and that will go in the little nook on the side of the house that some of you have asked, what are you going to do with that? Well, it's going to be a nice little hiding spot for some ugly appliances.
Or things that make a bit of noise, so it'll keep the sound separate from where we'll be spending our time.
It also says fixed plaster here because they didn't really use lime, and the walls have a bit of
They're stiff and rigid. There wasn't flexibility from the lime.
For anyone who's restoring an old building, if you're somewhere where there's really wet seasons and really dry seasons, I would recommend lime. We would say that that's one thing we would do differently, but we
didn't know at that time.
All right, next, vinegar and sealed stones. So we just want to spray all of the stones that we spent.
Let's say months, plural.
You're right, months, like 3 months.
Yeah, they kind of look chalky right now, and we need to get them to a nice, elegant look. We finished the upper bedroom the other day. Mario helped me out with that, and then we sealed it with the Sika product. So we want to do that to some of the areas in the main room as well.
For me who has asthma, not having dusty stone walls will be a big plus.
Yeah, especially as the backsplash in the kitchen. We want to make sure that if we splash tomato sauce behind or off the counters or the stove,
food fight.
Yeah, that way we don't have it absorbed into the lime rendering that's pointed between those stones.
Then we also have paint the walls, which as you guys saw in a previous episode, we shared some of the colors we've been thinking about. We ended up purchasing a totally different color, funny enough, but anywho, to build the suspense, you will see that soon. Okay, the turret trim, that's the funny area around the perimeter of our wooden turret ceiling. Ferg is gonna help us create a beautiful wooden band that covers the foam and things.
Above those glass blocks, below the beautiful sanded ceiling that we have.
Next, bedroom and bathroom doors. We also are going to be doing a kitchen setup, but we are going to do a temporary kitchen setup. We're going to keep it simple, have removable shelving countertop situation because we really need to take our time with the kitchen. It's going to be one of the most important rooms in the house, but we've lived in a van for a decade. I don't know what I need in a normal kitchen.
They always talk about that like perfect kitchen triangle, and us living small and tiny, we're trying to figure out how in a normal house we'd function and work together and optimize our kitchen. So with time, we'll make the perfect kitchen, but we just gotta do things quick and fast and meet the requirements for a kitchen for the habitation license.
Requirements include kitchen sink, oven or stove,
Cooking
some
apparatus.
cooking. Yeah. And a countertop of some sort, like a workspace.
The next thing kind of that goes off of the kitchen is the lower bathroom, shower and countertop, the sink for it, the toilet. We need one fully functioning bathroom for habitation. So instead of taking our time on this bathroom upstairs, we're just gonna do the quick basic bathroom downstairs so we can get that checked off our list as well.
The turret's special, we don't wanna rush it.
Same with the kitchen, you know. Yeah.
We wanna take our time where it will definitely benefit us to do so.
Speaking of things that benefit us, whether it's for those of us who live abroad or for anyone traveling on holiday, or maybe you're just visiting a cousin, Olafly has new international subscription data plans that make it extremely simple for you to enjoy reliable connectivity without limits and regardless of borders. With Olafly plans, you can stay connected in 160 countries without needing to change your SIM card. There's no worrying about roaming charges or dealing with complicated top-ups. It's just one plan, one eSIM, and total freedom. All plans are available as monthly or yearly subscriptions, and you can cancel anytime. And their plans come in 2 flexible tiers. The Lite plan includes 25 gigs of data and a hotspot. Then there's the unlimited data plan, which is great for heavy data usage, allowing you to browse websites and social media and stream to your heart's content. It also includes a hotspot, which is also unlimited. And right now, by clicking on our link below and using our code Mr. and Mrs. Adventure, Olafly is offering 10% off of monthly users, plus an additional 10% off of annual users who already get a 22% off discount. So on top of that, you get our 10% off. Again, our code is Mr. and Mrs. Adventure, and a huge thank you to Olafly for sponsoring this episode. Now let's get back to that list. We got a lot to cover on that thing.
Fix the exterior oven and roof and create better drainage and French drains. You guys saw how much water we dealt with in that front lower section of the house last year. It left remnants of salt on the walls when it dried this past summer. So we're just gonna basically have Nelson back. We're gonna be doing some drainage and pulling back the soil to grade it away from the house. And then Mario and I will deconstruct the oven. We'll put a little LED flashing in there and waterproof that roof, and then make some water diversions to take care of that problem from the outside. And then at some point we'll do some special things to the inner walls to overcome that obstacle.
Yeah, we have ideas, thank goodness, because that was a challenge.
We've had the advice of several people online, as well as some local builders come over and offer expertise and ideas for how we can, I guess, get rid of that problem too. So we're gonna implement those things.
And we so value your guys' comments, truly. So thank you to everyone who's ever offered us advice. We take it to heart. We do the research. We make note. We remember.
There's just so much to research at times, it becomes overwhelming. And when we're working on one project, we know the future will come and we'll get to that other project. So we have notes and comments saved for looking at in the future.
Okay, so then we have well water filter, which you'll also see us testing our well water in a future episode so that we can figure out exactly what kind of a filter we need, because we have such an iron-rich orangey mineral coming through our water.
Yeah, we know our water is really good here in Monchique in these mountains. We just need to make sure we have the right filtration in place for sediment and all the minerals in it so that we can put good quality water inside our house.
Flooring and stairs. We got flooring ordered. You will also see that coming. Oh, did we? Or maybe you didn't see that.
But in 2 weeks, you can call me, say when they see the tiles already, and then we make an appointment for delivery, okay?
Okay, that would be perfect. We're excited
Thank
to
you.
get all that
Bye-bye.
ordered.
Ciao.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, we have floor tiles. Almost.
Wow, that's a big moves. All right, back to work.
Anywho, it happened.
We ordered our
Flooring's
flooring and we're very excited to get that laid when that comes, but there's a lot that needs to happen. Flooring in our eyes is like
Last.
the last thing you do
Yeah.
because make a mess and then complete the floor.
Then we have solar water heater on the roof.
Yeah, that is actually impacted by the water filter and the quality of our water because it voids the warranty of any apparatus or machine like that if we're not putting non-contaminated water inside of it.
The things you don't know if you don't know. Then we have a fireplace question mark because we need to ask our building construction manager if the fireplace is actually required for habitation. Do we have to have a heating source in order to have the certification for energy be a good grade because it's from like A till F or something?
Yeah. We have insulation in the walls of the new portion of the house. It's between the inner and outer brick, so that meets the insulation requirements. We just don't know if we need to actually have a heating element and a cooling element for energy ratings as we get the habitation license.
Then we have railings so we don't fall off any dangerous ledges and hurt ourselves.
Yeah, maybe if we're sleepwalking and wandering around trying to get to the refrigerator, we don't just drop off the side of some stairs or the theater.
Yeah, and these are actually going to be sponsored, so you have that to look forward to. It's kind of a simple setup as well. We may make a more elaborate railing system out of like beautiful wood in the future.
But we're really grateful to not have to pay for certain things as we build our house, and those get sent to us, which is such a gift when all these costs are adding up for building our home.
Ooh, yeah. And then we have a large step across the main room.
Yeah.
This is required because of the fire safety measurements. So if a bombero or a fireman were to enter our home, there either needs to be a legal height for every single step has to be to regulation, but because this step is particularly large, we have to put in a second step. So we're gonna make a beautiful wooden step. And then
We're ready to purchase appliances.
Whoa.
We have got a refrigerator already.
and I was waiting to check off our first appliance box with you guys. You might remember our refrigerator that we bought in Sevilla earlier. So check. We're one step closer.
We just want to say, since we're still living in the camper, having a full-size Americano fridge
Wow.
has been the biggest luxury. Like, I've had ice cream at home in the evening.
It's been lovely. Okay, next we will have to work on sourcing AC units, fans. We bought our fans, right?
Yeah, we have to
Mount the one here.
mount the one here, but not until the ceiling's painted.
Then we have oven, dishwasher, washer, dryer, whatever our laundry situation will be, kitchen sink, and then we have water filter here, which pertains to our drinking water. We will have a separate little tap that's reverse osmosis so that we can have clean drinking water, no plastic bottles needed.
It'll be installed on our island because we drink a lot of water.
We do.
Hydration is important.
It is. And our water heater, which will be to heat our shower and stuff, solar situation. And then on our to-do later list, we're gonna do this one sort of rapid fire.
We kind of tried to put all these in chronological order that we were explaining in the previous poster, and here's kind of just laid out. They're not really in any specific order.
Because this is all post-habitation license and we can just take our time. Oh, I can't wait for the day that we are living post-habitation license.
We're gonna do a little dance, a little jig when we get that paperwork. We're just gonna celebrate with the previous owners because there is 3 main goals to this. First is the habitation license. Second is getting our name on the title and completing the contract we have with the previous owners and getting them the rest of their money, as well as the third bit, which is us actually living in the house. Like, all really amazing things, but some are a little more stressful than the others. So
Yes, all very important and all very exciting. So rapid fire, we have build out the closet,
gutters, because we've had so much water draining down our roofs, and it'll help protect the windows that we made from just the elements in the future. There's actually copper ones that we plan to get where a truck comes, and we're very excited about that idea.
Many of you suggested gutters in our previous episode where we showed the rain coming in, and you were 100% right. So that is part of why that's on the list here.
And we only have 2 slopes of pitched roofs that we have to have gutters for, so pretty simple and straightforward.
Then heated floors. We have to make sure that those are working. They've actually never been turned on.
Yeah, we have to get a manifold, distribution, regulators, a whole heat pump. There's a lot to that, but eventually.
And then build out the kitchen, because as we mentioned, we're just going to start out with a temporary experimental kitchen.
Next is decorate the pillars, which are those big cement columns, 2 of them in the main room. We have some ideas of how we're going to decorate those.
Do you guys have some ideas? Let us know in the comments below, because we've had lots of creative thoughts, whether wrapping them with strips of wood or using adobe to make beautiful clay tree shapes.
We could put some tiles on them. We could draw some stick figures. We could just have fun with it.
Or we could mosaic up them. Yeah.
They don't even look bad as is, so that's just a decorative feature.
And that's why they're on the to-do later list. They're not required to be beautified for habitation, and they are pretty much good enough as they are.
And the turret bathroom, we talked about the upstairs bathroom, that's super tall. We want to take our time and design something really worth feeling like we're so happy we did that.
Like showering inside of a seashell. Anywho, next, adobe wash. We're thinking of using the clay.
Remember that huge ball that was in this room right here that my parents and I took out bucket by bucket? It's up on our terrace right now.
Well, we're getting there. You can see how hard some of these chunks are, but as soon as you start chopping them up, they turn back into powder.
And because, like we said, some of our walls have been cracking because our team used cement plaster. If we were to adobe wash on top of it, or even just one wall of our bedroom, the adobe really helps a room breathe. It absorbs moisture and releases moisture when it's dry. So it could actually just be beneficial even to have one wall adobe'd in our bedroom.
We could even just make an artwork or a sculpture from it. There's so many possibilities using that material.
Then we have AC and heating units.
That's for the 2 platforms you talked about outside, where there'd be one large mini split, which would allow for heating, cooling, and dehumidifying the lower grand room, and then 2 potentially for each bedroom upstairs, because in the summertime, it's actually quite hot here. Like, it's several days can be over 40 degrees Celsius or 105. And so sleeping at night in a really hot, humid room is intense, and that will just help us have a better quality of sleep so that we can do all the things we do.
I have a question. I think this was on our to-do now list as well. Is that sort of because we don't know if we need to do it?
Yeah, that's a big question we have, if we actually have to have something like that for the habitation license, but I'm pretty certain we do not. That's where the fireplace comes into effect too.
Question mark.
Plus there's different areas of the house we're talking about, so we're just doing our best with what we know at this given time.
Fair enough. Then we have front and back patios plus steps. We want to pave that area.
Yeah. You know those little calçadas, if you've seen like those little granite blocks that are all over the sidewalks in Lisbon and Porto and a lot of villages, that's something commonly used for drives and for features out in patios here. It's also in the quarry not too far away from us, so it's a material that's super readily available and inexpensive.
And then we have outdoor bathtub, because your lady here likes a nice bath, and I don't think we're gonna have one inside.
Maybe we should have wrote sauna. A sauna would be a really nice feature for the winter time, but that's later.
And sauna, we'll just add a box. The hidden back patio, we do want to put nice tiling. Then we have build the pump house, because right now it's just a temporary shade structure.
Yeah, it keeps the elements, the sun from baking it, the water off all the components so they last longer.
And then pave the driveway, or just pour cement down the whole thing. One or the other.
Yeah, you guys remember getting our camper out the last 2 summers was a struggle bus.
We gotta do something about that.
Yeah, we need traction because only a 4x4 is getting down here right now.
Then we got landscaping, which is the continued removal of eucalyptus and putting back native trees such as cork oaks, more madroños. I mean, rose bushes do extremely well out here because it's dry. And
there's like stage 1 and stage 2 to this. There's like the beautifying and things right immediate around the house, but also keeping in mind the fire spaces and that, as well as planting more agriculture and garden related things up on our higher up terraces and developing the water and sprinkler system for that further.
Let all of that live inside of that.
Yeah.
And clean and point old mill exterior stones.
Yeah. So that's everything on the old mill portion. We're just leaving it as is. You'll see even some spray foam around the windows on the stream side. We're just leaving all that for a year more in the future because we're not experiencing any leaks in those situations. My bad. And get kind of crazy. That is a bigger project, and right now our priority is one thing: get that habitation license. Push all the projects to a later date that don't matter for that. So we have priorities and non-priorities.
Right, so if anything seems funny that we're doing it in a specific order, we promise there is a method to the madness. We're keeping our eye on the goal. And between these two lists, we're gonna need a lot of support from you guys, just as far as like your positivity, your encouragement. Truly your comments help so much by tapping that thumbs up and just clicking that subscribe button. We know that you're with us for the ride. We're not alone in this. And whatever lessons pop up along the way, however difficult or hilarious, being able to share in the joys and the sorrows just makes it an adventure. And if you truly want to become a part of what feels like an extended family, then consider becoming a patron. And those are those of you who decide to pledge an amount towards every video that we share. So we put this out here for you guys for free, but it really is so nice to feel valued in return.
Yeah, that's a special community over there.
So thank you. I hope that this list was interesting because it has to be one of the most requested subjects for us.
Topics.
Yeah. What is left to do for your house? Like, when do you get to move in? And it was really important for us to take the time together and look at this list too, because it actually is very clarifying.
Yeah, we wrote it out 2 times prior to putting it on these big posters because the ordering and just separating it out into what really matters most. And as you guys know, as much as we want to be in the house, there's a lot to do first, but we love sharing it here with you guys.
And if there's a goal that you want to accomplish in your life, making a list of the steps to get there really helps give you direction. So thank you for inspiring us to have a bit more direction. We'd all lived up here in a bit of a mess. So.
Actually, a lot of it lives on my cell phone in the notes section.
I'm one that needs paper. I can't do the phone thing.
Yeah, I struggle. My handwriting's gotten so bad these days just from like typing, but I always have my phone on me, so I don't have to go looking for pen and paper. It's just handy, even though I really do cherish pen and paper.
Cherish the good old days.
Yeah,
we
penmanship.
Yeah. Speaking of penmanship, if you're looking for an oldie, an old Mr. and Mrs. Adventure episode to enjoy, I'll put one up for you right here that will just share a bit of my journaling with you. It was back in quarantine days, and journaling was a nice go-to during those times.
Yeah, some of our favorite stories from the past and our adventures have all been journaled down that we just have tucked away in those journals for...
A book, anyone?
Maybe we should take a page and share it with our patrons.
Ooh, patrons. Handwritten journal page coming at you.
Coming soon. Anyways, guys, we appreciate each and every one of you guys, and we'll see you next episode.
And to help keep us on track and to make things fun, we're going to tape both of these lists up in our workshop container so that every time we get that much closer to moving inside the mill, you guys can be there when we check off a box on our list, or on our lists. And we'll be probably adding some things along the way too. All right, see you in the next one. You are the best.